If you're an Nespresso lover and out on the hunt for a full function machine that will take care of extracting the coffee and steaming the milk, two product ranges will be at the forefront of your research. They are the Lattissima from Delonghi and Breville's Creatista line of Nespresso machines. But which one of the two is better for you? Well, as an owner of machines from both ranges, I'm here to help you out with a comparison. The specific models we'll look at today fall in the middle of each product range. I have here the Delonghi Lattissima Touch and the Breville Creatista Plus. Now, if you're pressed for time, don't forget to use the chapter function to skip to the parts you'd like to see. For many of us, cost is a major factor in influencing our purchases. The Lattissima Touch as displayed here can be bought in Australia at a sale price of around $400. Interestingly, there doesn't seem to be much variance in the overseas prices, and you'll pay around 350 British pounds or 350 American dollars. The Breville Creatista Plus, on the other hand, comes in at double the price. Well, here in Australia, it's $800. But overseas, the prices become a bit more relative. £350 here at John Lewis in the UK, or $450 at Walmart. It's clear then that in Australia at least, the Delonghi machine is the price favourite. But let's look a little deeper into the specs. The Creatista can go from power on to flowing coffee in under 5 seconds. That's pretty fast if you're in a rush. On the other hand, the Lattissima Touch takes a comparatively glacial 25 seconds to heat up. At this point though, I ask you, the viewer, is this all that important? Both machines deliver 19 bar of pump pressure, and that's enough to extract well out of the Nespresso pods. The Delonghi has a 1 litre water tank, and the Breville's is 1.5, so less fill-ups if you're someone that's pumping out heaps of coffee every day. Both machines feature two different platforms for cups of different sizes to sit on. The Delonghi excels at keeping the aesthetic clean and somewhat minimalist. Excess cable can be stored underneath the machine, and the descaling coupling sits in this little cubby that you probably wouldn't even know about unless you read the manual. The outside of the machine is mostly plastic, with a chrome look handle, and the vibe of the shape is that of a rounded rectangular prism. It's easy to see that whilst the Delonghi is a good choice for someone wanting their machine to blend in, the Creatista is all about showing off. It's 4 centimeters taller, 8 centimeters longer, and relies on brushed stainless steel plates and mirror finish plastic for the front, with stainless steel handle, spout, and steam wand. There is still some cable management underneath, and there's no need for a descaling coupling, meaning there's nothing to store or lose. And now the milk, and here's where we arrive at the main point of difference in the machines. The Lattissima features a removable 350ml milk carafe and an adjustable automatic steaming system which dispenses straight into the cup. The Creatista, however, features a more traditional steam wand and stainless milk jug that sits on a temperature probe, allowing the machine to reliably produce consistent microfoam, which you can then use to create latte art. That's where the Creatista name comes from. Of course, depending on your skill level, this doesn't always work out. The other major difference in the machines is the fact that the Creatista comes equipped with an onboard computer, which allows for a large range of adjustment in the product being made. You can customize things like shot size, as well as milk temperature and foam level. You can also access the descaling and maintenance menus from within the screen. The Lattissima, on the other hand, makes do with 6 buttons, corresponding to 6 programmed drinks it can create, from ristretto to latte and warmed milk. There is an ability to program the volume of coffee and milk corresponding to each setting, and the foam can be somewhat adjusted using this knob on the milk container. But it is obvious that the Creatista has a more special setup that's easier to customize and use. So let's use the machines side by side. We'll start by extracting a lungo out of each machine. The default lungo size for both machines is 125ml. You can see that there's a 3-second delay whilst the Breville heats up, whereas the Delonghi, which has been preheating since I turned it on, starts straight away. Do notice, however, that as the long shot is poured, the Breville machine catches up. Now let's do the milk. You see that for the Creatista, I need to fill the milk jug up to the level I desire to go into the drink. On the Lattissima, it's simply a matter of filling up the container. If I don't use all the milk, I can run a cleaning cycle, then remove the carafe and store it in the fridge. On the Delonghi, I can stop the milk flow by simply pressing the dispense button a second time. The Breville's milk steaming will stop when it reaches the desired temperature. Don't forget, I have at least 5 temperatures I can choose from, and this is a feature the Delonghi doesn't have. The benefit over a traditional machine here is the temperature probe that gives you consistently foamed milk, unlike the too hot or too cold results you'll get if you don't have much experience doing it manually. Just like on a real espresso machine, you finish the milk by wiping down the steam wand and purging it out, something that happens automatically. So here are the two finished products. On testing, I found them to be very similar. However, I was distinctly aware that the Creatista gave me an overall hotter beverage, and this was with the milk setting on default. Otherwise, failing my failed latte art, the two machines both delivered a very similar product. Cleanup is straightforward. On the Breville, it's just a matter of running a short shot after ejecting the spent pod and then washing the drip tray and milk jug. You'll notice that there's also a water indicator here which will let you know when there's too much waste in the tray. On the Delonghi, the coffee side is broadly similar to the Breville, but we also now have to run a short cleaning cycle for the milk. Somewhat frustratingly, you have to keep this button depressed for the whole cycle. Now the cleaning is done, you can place the carafe in the fridge if you like, although Delonghi do recommend disassembly and running it through the dishwasher every few days, which can get a little old really fast. Both these machines are about 2.5 years old and now well out of warranty. I haven't experienced faults with either of them, and both have had several descaling events run through them without a problem. I'm not a huge coffee drinker and probably only average about 5 coffees per week through each machine, so that's something to consider if you're watching this and planning to make 5 coffees a day. The Breville has held up well, but as you can see there are a few scratches forming on the chromed plastic on the front and on the brushed stainless on the side. The stainless finish plastic drip tray is also suffering from some coating peel, but nothing is too bad. The Delonghi, on the other hand, is plastic fantastic. Of course, this finish will always wear better than a shiny one, but truth be told, there's not much to tell you that this machine didn't come out of its box a few days ago. Possibly a small amount of degradation on the milk container's plastic is here, but then again, it could just be due for a wash. So here's my take. Both these machines extract Nespresso and foam milk competently. If you're the kind of person that likes the convenience and consistency of Nespresso, wants to make milky coffee drinks and not too much more, I'd save the money and get something from the Lattissima range. It's a quality machine, made in Italy, that will stand the test of time and brew up a good beverage. It won't crowd your benchtop and doesn't look ugly or garish. On the other hand, if you want your coffee machine to make a statement and would like to learn how to create a coffee that looks like the one you'd buy at a cafe, but don't have the time or patience to deal with a traditional espresso machine and grinder, I'd shell out and get the Creatista. Like the name says, it's more dialable, more experimentable, and well, more of a conversation piece that will perform well whether it's on the basics or on something a little more complex. I do plan to make more videos in the future on dialing in this machine. Perhaps consider subscribing, but just be aware that for me this channel is a self-interest hobby one. And I also make content on travel, transport within Australia, as well as European cars and power gardening equipment. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day.